And now, here's your host of Shaping Success, Wes Tankersley.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to Shaping Success. I'm your host, Wes Tankersley. Morning coffee on a Monday. It's been a few days. A couple things have been going on, and I've been trying to decide and contemplate and try and figure those things out. So it's one of those deals. We missed our book review with Robert Watson last Wednesday. My son got sick, and when he gets sick, as you know, if you've listened for a while, it kind of just gets me in a situation where my life is on this track where I've got everything kind of planned out and in order so that I can do as many things as I possibly can do. So that entails raising my two kids, doing my full-time day job, and then also this, which kind of takes a back burner when that happens. But it also made me kind of contemplate a lot of things and think about some stuff that is going on in my life. So thanks everyone for being here. I appreciate you showing up. If this is the first time being here, been trying to do morning coffee every day, and then I've kind of switched it to just Monday and Friday, and then we do a book review with Robert Watson, which is kind of an inspirational, motivating book that he has, Ours Victorious, and just trying to inspire people. So anyway, with my son being sick, it just kind of took the back burner, and we had to do some stuff and just get that taken care of. He's finally feeling better. The last 2 nights he's actually slept through the night, which is always difficult. And my wife and I kind of get in this little argument about what we should do, and he gets up, she gets up, then I get up, then she gets up, and I get tired of getting up because once I'm awake, I can't go back to sleep. It was like this morning. I woke up, set my alarm clock at 4:15. My brain wakes up, and then it starts thinking, immediately start going to those things where I can't stop and I can't turn it off. And that's what happens. So if I get up with him one time, I'd rather just go sleep on the floor in his bedroom with him, and hopefully he'll stay asleep rather than calling us and telling us to go in and out of there multiple times, which works. But then the next couple of days he wants to sleep on the floor and he wants me in there, and that's a problem, right? So like we're all trying to navigate that, and parenthood is one of those things that's very interesting, that every kid is different and everything you do is different. And I have 2 children that are very different ages. I've got my 10-year-old daughter who is going through some stuff. You know, she's about to go through all the things that little girls go through with puberty and things like that. And then I've got my 2-year-old who is kind of like in the terrible twos. And so like, it's like this plethora of things that are going on, and we have no clue what's happening. We don't know what to do. And, you know, all parents are learning as they go, I feel like. And I sit there and I watch and I think about like my parents and how they raised us and what they did, and how we were all 3 different in our own way, and everyone is different, and we have to get used to that. And we have to understand that even though we think one way, it doesn't mean that it's the same way that everyone else thinks, and we have to work through that. But as that goes on, I start to think about it. This morning I woke up, I was tired. I don't necessarily know that I really wanted to do this morning, but I told myself that I had to. I need to come out here. I need to think about it. And I started to think about like where I'm at in my life and why I'm doing this. And I started to contemplate what is pushing me and what is motivating me to do this. Why did I start doing this in the first place? And what I need to do to get myself back into the point where I'm out here inspired every day, you know. And it was funny because when I started the show, I started doing it. I was, you know, thinking about what I was going to do and how I was going to do it. And I started doing interviews with people thinking, you know, I need to talk to people. I need to figure out how they did things and discuss with them their motivation and how they got where they were and what they were doing. And that will help other people see, and that'll help me see and help me figure out how to stay inspired and to keep moving forward every single day. And I started to think about it, you know, like no matter what I do, as long as I keep doing it, something's going to hit, something's going to click, something's going to go. So it's been tough. It's been one of those things where I thought, I'm just going to keep doing it no matter what, because that's what I do. I'm not going to stop. And so trying to find those inspirations and those things that keep you moving forward is one of those things that I like to show people, and I like to make sure that they understand that it's up to them no matter what they do. And, you know, I've been looking for inspiration, and where do I find inspiration, and how did I get inspired to do this? And listening to other people who helped me through this time when I used to think that no matter what I did, I'm just going to work hard and everything will happen, or it won't happen. And if it doesn't happen, then I won't be disappointed because I thought that, you know, if I keep doing it and then it doesn't happen, it's no big deal. But if it did happen, then I could be excited about it. So kind of like the glass half empty. And that's something that I've talked about a lot. So I started looking through stuff this morning. I'm trying to find something to make me just kind of get in that mode, get back in that place. And I found this thing. It's 8 places successful people find their motivation. And I think that a lot of times we get lost in the fact that nothing is happening and trying to forget about the journey and how we got there. And I hate that word journey because it is this path that we're going on. And we have to have understandings of why we do things. And I'm going to kind of talk about this a little bit, but I'm going to challenge you to go through this. And, you know, if you want to write it down, you can. And if not, you know, I can put this link to this in the show notes on the podcast so you guys can go kind of work through it yourself. But why? You got to start with why you did it. You know, what is your why? Why is the reason that you want to do whatever it is that you want to do? You know, why did I start this podcast? Why am I thinking that where do I think it's going? So what is the reason why I did it? And for me, it was to inspire. I'm going to break these down kind of like here talking about it, but I'm also going to go through and work through it and write it down and put it on paper so that I can look at it and kind of understand where I'm at. But why? Why did you do it? You have to figure out the why. You have to know why before you can even start doing anything. What's the reasoning behind it? So what are you going to do? Why did you want to do it? Okay. Number 2 is knowing the limiting step. Okay. Wait, what? There's a limiting step? What does that mean? Knowing their limiting step. So what is going to be your stopper? What is going to be your barrier? What is going to limit you? What is going to make it so that you can stop or you don't want to do it? And this could be simple. You know, it could be easy. It could be, well, I don't have time. It could be, I don't have time. You can make time. Like, this is my biggest problem is that I know that I can make time. I have to figure out how to make time. But is it time? Is it family? Is it work? Is it you don't have the experience? What can you do? Okay. What is the reasoning behind not doing whatever you're doing? And again, I want you to understand that I'm thinking about this myself. This is something that I'm going through right now, trying to decide, trying to figure out, it's not that I'm going to quit doing it, but I need to figure it out. I need to reinvent what I'm doing. You know, why am I doing it? How am I doing it? Okay. Know the why. Embracing the hacker why. What's the hacker why? I mean, these are kind of new things to all of us. What can you do to make that happen? People will tell you that it's impossible. People will tell you that you cannot do it. What are the tools out there that you can use? Where can you find those tools? How can you figure out how to make it work? Okay. So think about that. How can you hack what you're wanting to do? Maybe you don't have the experience. Maybe you're not good at talking in front of people. Maybe you're not good about writing. Maybe you're not good at whatever you're doing. How can you find an answer? In this day and age, it's really easy to find those answers. You know, Nikki, who's over on YouTube, great inspiration to me. You think about what she does. She has a hard time like public speaking and getting out there and getting to know people. She joined Toastmasters. That's one of those things where you got uncomfortable and you went out there and you worked towards whatever it is. So hack what you're trying to do, try and figure it out. Look for those people, look for that group, look for those things to inspire you to build yourself up, to make yourself better every single day. Okay, so stay focused on the big picture. Okay, stay focused on the big picture. I'm writing these down as we go because I'm telling you, I'm going to go through and I'm going to go through these again because I am at a point where I need to remind myself why I do what I do. Okay. So stay focused on the big picture. What is your big picture? You can't figure out what that is. You can't stay focused on the big picture until you defined what that is. Okay. So you have to go back to that first one or the second one. Why? The why. What is it? Start with the why. You need to figure that out and then you need to stay focused on that. Okay. This next one's pretty good. And we've been kind of talking about it a little bit though. Surround yourself with catalysts. Who are those people? Who are the catalysts? What are the things? Sorry, I'm writing this down real quick as I'm thinking about it. So this is one of those things people say you can't multitask, and you can't really, because I'm thinking about, like, I'm trying to do 3 things at one time. I'm trying to talk to you, I'm trying to read this, and I'm trying to think and process at the same time, which I'm trying to be better at. Like, I want to get better at processing. If you haven't read, there's a book that Jim Quick has that I can't stay focused on, but he talks about, being more focused, and how can you do that? How can you figure those things out? So surround yourself with the catalyst. Now think about that. And the way that I look at this and I'm thinking about it is, who are the people that you're around? Who are the people that inspire you? And this is what I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find those catalysts right now, because I've had a lot of them. I've been through a lot of them. Maybe it's time to revisit some of those previous things that I've done. Like, there is different meaning, like books, right? Friend Michelle gave me this book. She's actually over on YouTube right now, but she gave me this book to read, The 4 Agreements. Very inspiring to me. I hadn't thought about a lot of those things in a long time, and they were great reminders, and talking and thinking, and how can you make yourself better? And if you can stick to those 4 agreements, and I recommend that book. You need to read it, write those things down, and stick them in front of your face every single day, so you can remember and think about the things that you do and live by them. Okay. So doing that, surrounding yourself with the right people. Okay. What are the catalysts? For me, it's reading books, trying to find those information, being around those people who are trying to do the same thing that I'm trying to do, looking for that motivation to continue doing what I'm doing every single day, and then going back to the why and remembering that. Okay. Then you have to have passion about it, right? Passion is the next one. What's the passion? Why do you have passion for it? And I have to tell you, when I'm like dead set on what I'm doing, and I'm trying to be who I am, and trying to inspire people, and trying to help them to see it, like, I feel so good about myself. The passion that I have is to teach other people how to find this, how to be inspired. But when you're not inspired, it's tough to do that. So when you don't feel like it, when you're tired, when there's all these things going on, and it's a mind game, right? Because I have to tell myself, I've told you this, and I've told that I don't believe in quitting. I don't believe in stopping. I don't believe in, doing it halfway. So my problem when I wake up in the morning, and like the other day, my son's not sleeping well, and I wake up in the morning and I don't feel like it. If I come out here and I show you that, or if you won't believe me. You won't understand. You won't know where I'm coming from, and it's tough. So you have to find that passion, and you have to stay focused on it. And just because you lose that passion every once in a while doesn't mean that you're not passionate about it, but you have to refocus and you have to figure it out. Okay. So have that passion. If you love what you're doing, you're going to do whatever it takes. And I need to work a little bit harder and be better about that. Okay. Have a sense of urgency. One of the things that I think you get lost in, right, is when things get comfortable and you don't have that sense of urgency about it, and you get comfortable in the things that you're doing, you sometimes get lost, and you just kind of get into that autopilot, right? And so that's when things happen. That's when things get worse typically, is because you're in autopilot. You're not worried about it. You stop thinking about it. You just keep going through the motions every single day. And that's one of the things that I always have this fear of, is that I'm going to get on autopilot. I'm not going to do more. And so I always have to look back and think about, what can I do? How can I do more? How can I be inspired? And so you have to find that sense of urgency. What is it? It's almost like looking back and there is a fire coming at you right now, and you have to put that fire out, or you're going to not make it. So what do? You run from the fire, you grab the water, you do whatever you can to stop the fire from happening. And you have to have that urgency of, your life is on the line. What can I do to make it better? Right. And then this is the last one. Okay. I want you to think about this. How do you create healthy habits, healthy and effective habits? Okay. So there's a fine line, right? Sorry, I'm writing this down. It's a little bit longer. There's a fine line, right? With effective in healthy habits, right? So how do you do that? How do you create those effective and healthy habits? So is it healthy for you? Is the goal that or the desire that you have, what you're doing, how can it be healthy? How can you keep doing it? And to me, it's like, Am I tired? Can I make it? Is it good for me? Is it good for my family? Is it good for the people around me that I'm, with and I have to be around and surrounding myself with all the time? So create those healthy habits. If it's getting up and working out, because that is something that you need to do in order to function properly, do it. If things like that, if it just gets tough, you need to create those healthy and effective habits. So don't stop, don't quit, continue moving forward. And I hope that you guys have a great day, but I want you to think about that as you're going through it. What can you do to inspire yourself to be better? All right. So that's where I'm at right now. Sounds like YouTube is being glitchy. Hopefully the audio is okay. But this is where we are at. And until next time, I challenge you to find the shape of your success.